All right, good morning traders. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're going to be going through the live order flow analysis, forward looking. The reason that we're doing that is, well, the software, Bookmap, gives you an edge when you can read the behavior in the order flow, the behavior of other traders. They are behaving and interacting in the market via orders. That's why order flow is important. This is the only way, in fact, that they can interact in the market. So that's why order flow has become so popular in the last years. Right. So anyway, it's all tape reading. It's all order flow in my book, even on the monthly chart. Let's dive in. All right, so first off, we have an onboarding webinar tomorrow, Tuesday at 1 p.m. This is for those new to Bookmap, and they may not have any experience with Bookmap getting up and running. What we'll do is we'll log into bookmap.com and show you where to go to get your license key, to download Bookmap, to subscribe to data. You will need to subscribe to data. Okay, we'll do all of that. Then we'll install Bookmap, we'll run it, and we're going to connect you to that data subscription. And then we're going to bring up and enter the symbols for the live market. All right, so that's the onboarding webinar. It's tomorrow, 1 p.m. And here is the link if you want to register for it on it's in Zoom. So this is where you can find it right here. Okay, and I've got some other exciting stuff here. So we have a brand new course. It's open, available to all. You can go right now to the Bookmap Learning Center and go check it out. You can take a screenshot of the QR code here if you like as well. It's based on supply and demand. These are very simple setups that apply to pretty much everything using supply and demand. Okay, so let me show you where it is on the Bookmap Learning Center and how to get there. Okay, go to bookmap.com and then click on education right here. Okay, that'll take you to the Bookmap Learning Center. Here, there's all sorts of resources in here. There's a getting started course that you can click on. There's a market mechanics course. There's other strategies and setups, but this is the new course here, supply and demand setups. So click on that, and then you'll come in and you'll see there's 10 videos that we have in here. They're very short videos, about, just a couple of minutes long, 2 to 4 minutes, and they go through many different setups in here. All right, and it's based on supply and demand. And Bookmap is excellent in showing that to you. So for example, we can just take a look at this one right here. I mean, this is supply. And then the green dots in here, this is demand. And we really want to understand the transactions into high liquidity, just like this, okay? Because you'll see as we go through here, you'll see how trading takes place between supply and demand the entire time. Like right in here, up here, high supply trades into it, high demand down below hits into it, high supply again. I mean, it's like a ping pong ball back and forth, because this is where the traders are. This is where there's liquidity and the market can transact there. Right, so that's what supply and demand is all about. It's different than support and resistance. I think you will enjoy this course. Go check it out on the Learning Center from bookmap.com and the education link. And then another one here, important. Get verified on our Bookmap Discord if you want access to our Discord. We just implemented this on Saturday, I think. You will need to have register at bookmap.com. Okay, and the email that you use to register there, you will use to get verified in our Discord channel. Okay, so this is where you'll go. You'll see it here. It says verification. And if you're brand new, this is what you'll need to click on. You'll only see verification and help. All right, so you'll need to have that, and then the world's your oyster in here. There's all sorts of resources. There's live rooms all day long in here. We just finished one with Charles. Now we're up with the All Markets webinar, and then Tom B is next. After that, well, let me show you. After that, let me show you the whole schedule here. We'll go back to the Learning Center, and in here you'll see the courses that I had mentioned, and scroll down a little bit more, and then here you go. So here, just for the 28th alone, we have 6 events. Okay, well, we are 7 events because Charles just finished. So this is the event you're at right now. Tom B's next. We have Frank. After that, this is going to be in Spanish, Frank Marrero. We have options with Doug, and then we also have in German here with Marco, a great webinar on about futures, institutional trading, and then we have a little bit later crypto with Spencer here. Okay, all of these, they're all excellent educators. There's a lot to learn here, and we're very happy to offer all of these events in here. So if you're interested in that, come to the Learning Center. You'll scroll down and you'll see all of these events. You can click on them here, and you can register, or click on the link here, and you can share the link. You can put it on your add it to your calendar here, etc. All right, so that's that, and you will need to have that bookmap.com or your email registered at bookmap.com in order to attend those events. Okay, so it's all free. There's no cost involved to register. You don't need to have the platform or anything. I would suggest that you download and install the free version of the platform. At least you can follow along and understand some of the interface and what Bookmap is showing. All right, so let's go through the disclosures and then we'll jump into the live market. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in here. We're taking a look at the S&P E-mini here. And it's actually, this is the kind of move I was looking for on Friday. This move to the downside. Now, we'll see if we find more buyers down here or not. But it was a squeeze to the upside and relentless, in fact. In fact, there's something I wanted to show you from the price action on Friday, which I've seen for quite a while in here. It's these buying programs, but they have just been relentless lately in all this volatility, and it's a little bit easier to spot them. We'll see if we spot them today, but you'll just see this buying continue, and it's not a lot, but it's extremely consistent, and it's enough to pull the market up. And then maybe it kind of stops for a little bit, and then you'll see the action in Bookmap. You'll see it in the volume dots, and you'll start to see these green dots in here, and just like kind of like this, like buying. But you see, you wouldn't see this selling coming in like that. And then if you do, they'll come right back in and they'll start buying again here. Okay. That's kind of it right there. You saw a little bit of it right in here, right? They just continue to hit the offer, or lift the offer, and then here we go again. So now that's okay to see this kind of a quick move down, but see how they come right back in again. Now watch. Let's see if they can get back up to this liquidity here. Okay, this is when we can start to note in Bookmap. You can see this kind of behavior. And that'll give you an edge. You can start to look for pullbacks in some of these areas, and then look for those buying programs to start to kick in again. All right, so we'll keep an eye out for it. I think the behavior, well, we just saw it in some of these moves here, but we'll see if we're going to get that in the bigger move for today. Okay, because this is actually, you see the sellers, taking control of the market after this move up. All right, so all right, let me see if there's any questions in here. All right, let me see if all right. No, nothing. All right, so let's we're going to take a step back first and look at the bigger picture in here before we kind of jump in. If we see something in the order flow on a smaller time frame, maybe we'll jump in, but like we want to get our bigger picture, and there's two things we're looking for in here. Number one is the market impetus. What is moving the market, okay, and why? We want to know that. And right now, it seems like, well, you can see a big stop run up into this high liquidity in here, and then you see quite a bit of selling move the market lower. And then again, like it's really pretty back and forth. I mean, you see quite a bit of buying in this little area in here, and I'm not seeing many sellers at the moment. But it seems to be kind of sloshing around right now, basically. All right, so it's kind of, there is no kind of impetus here. It looks like it's just squeezes and kind of back and forth activity. All right, so an impetus in the market can be many different things. It might be news related, it might be geopolitical, it might be some sort of like a scheduled news release. It could be earnings from a bellwether stock. It could be many different things. It could also be technical. It's like looking for squeezes or finding an important level and traders reacting around those levels and taking control of the market. So it doesn't necessarily need to be, fundamental data, right? But we want to understand what's making the market move. That's the key, the important thing. And typically, we see that kind of movement around key levels, right? So that's what we want to kind of focus on, are our key levels. And there's a couple different ways that we can do that by zooming out and starting to understand who's in control of the market. Okay, so we can start with a candlestick chart. This is a daily candlestick chart over here on the left, an hourly in the middle, and a 15 on the right. Okay, so you can see this auction in here in the hourly, and the way that this auctioned up above the swings in here. It's like I said, this is what I saw was that kind of buying, program buying, algos just eating away at the market, taking it higher, and I was kind of surprised to see it go up above these areas in here, and we didn't see any sort of reaction, because these are really important levels. Okay, it's a very important level here in my book, and we have a gap up above here. Maybe we're going to fill the gap up here on the hourly, as you can see. I mean, it's a pretty big move, right? But we're looking at the daily candles in here, and they're all green, right? Now we just had that one big pullback here on the 15-minute, as you can see, and you can see the wick here on the hourly, right? So we have a VWAP here. I have a VWAP here on the 15-minute chart, but it seems like there's some buying off of that area. Okay, so we are seeing the buyers come back in now. We've retraced that big move, almost half of it so far, not quite. Right, so we're going to be looking for those buyers again then. Okay, so we just traded up into high liquidity here at this 60 level, 55.60. Okay, and we're still seeing buyers. Okay, Still seeing buyers. All right, so let's see if we can pop here higher and come up into this low volume node, or maybe even up into this area here. The high volume node is here, or higher, I should say, than here. And we want to just see if we can get through the 63 level, and then if we can accept and continue higher. Right, this is the most of the trading has taken place in here between 62 and 50 or so. So this is bullish. We're above the 50 level, and you can see the transactions in here, right, in our profile. Okay, pretty well distributed. You can kind of see these little high volume nodes up in these areas here, but it's really right in here where you see the vast majority of the trading taking place so far. All right. Okay, so let's see here. We had a quick little sell-off after trading into high liquidity here. Selling looks pretty strong again, right? So we're getting pretty back and forth activity in here. Well, let's see if we get more of those buyers in here. And something I wanted to cover in this webinar moving forward is this setups course that I just had mentioned to you guys. So we go to the Learning Center here, and you go to this supply and demand setups course in here. Like I said, these are very basic and simple setups in here. And we're going to go through many of them in the live market, right? So when we see them, so for example, this one on absorption and exhaustion at a level, a key level. Okay, so this is what I mean to show you here, is right in here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, so here's absorption. And then you can see the next level in here. Okay. Price trades, well, first off, the buyers trade into this high liquidity, and then here we see no buyers, no green dots, right? That is exhaustion. Okay, look for exactly this kind of pattern in here in a downtrend. Okay, a double top pattern, right? You can look for those sellers to come in and start to move that market lower, because it traded into high liquidity. So these sellers up here, this supply got filled, and then we have no buyers here, and then we see aggressive sellers come in here, and then we look for them to trade back down to high liquidity, right? Now the beauty of this absorption followed by exhaustion is that this is in a downtrend. Okay, and that's where this becomes a really good a pattern in here. So let's see if we can get it in here. So we kind of see it here, right? Okay, so here's our sellers. So let's see if we can get into this then. Okay, and I just kind of missed it. Oh, okay, I cannot get filled in here. How come? Okay, that's really too bad. That would have been a nice little gainer. I don't know why. We can jump back to Rhythmic though. Okay, and can start that. I think this should work. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now that's okay. We're gonna go again here, and we just missed this. This is just killing me. And I have to get filled down here. Yeah, not good. Well, we're gonna look for the continuation and the drop though, and we're gonna look for maybe getting filled down here around this 47 liquidity down here. Okay, so anyway, we did have the setup we were kind of looking for here, right? We had our absorption, followed by some exhaustion in here, and our sellers came in, and we wanted to get in on that. We had another pullback here though, and this is another setup. It's a good one, and we missed that just because I'm fumbling around trying to get into the trade here. But anyway, this could have been, we could have even leveraged into this transaction here, and could have been a nice one. Anyway, the low volume pullback in here is something that we covered on Friday, and look at the selling in here. Okay, and let me bring up the pen tool. Hold on a minute. Okay. And look at the relative volume in here. Okay, sellers. Okay, here's our pullback in here, and we don't see many buyers. Okay, that's the opportunity. Okay, is on the pullback. So look for those sellers to come back in somewhere around in here, and you look for them to carry it on down. Right. Now the easy way to manage this trade is to be getting out at the bottom of the range in here. So somewhere right around where we are. To be honest, okay? Because we don't know if all of a sudden we might get a whole lot of buyers, because there was a lot of buyers in here previously, right? So bottom of the range, take some off, and you can always look for continuation. Anyway, any questions on this? Check over in Discord and see if you guys kind of understand what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. The trading simulator had an issue. Thank you, Alois. Okay, we got something on Canada, right? Thank you, Alois. Okay. All right, guys, so we're still in this, and there's your impetus, Alois. Beautiful. Thank you very much. This is what we're talking about here. This is what traders are reacting to. Okay, and we can see it here in the order flow now. All right, so we're going to be looking for. I'm starting to see quite a bit of buying coming in as well here, and we just traded into this liquidity here. Okay, so let's see if we get a bounce here, we start to see buyers come in, we'll just exit this, but we're going to hold for our 47 level down below here. Okay, in fact, now let's hit a single here, and we'll just get out of the trade at 47 here, around 47 and a half, 47 and 3/4. Okay, so we're filled and we're out. Anyway, guys, like you can see, this was we had some pretty nice little setups in here, and we're going along with the market impetus here. What's moving the market? Thank you, Alois, on that. 55.60 is resistance level. Yeah, so Stan or Sam, let me cover that here. And this is where I think this whole supply and demand course that I had showed you earlier on the Learning Center is exactly about this. Okay, so resistance is up here. Okay, what do you mean by resistance? Okay, do you mean just because of the price action? Like this is a 62, this high here is resistance. Okay, well, why? You know, what was it in here? Maybe it is now. Okay, but here's where you can really put the order flow together with support and resistance, because support and resistance, I mean, this is support down here, right here, 39 at this swing. Okay, but we want it in terms of order flow. Okay, are there orders there? Okay, is it not just resistance? Is it or is it not just support down here? Is it demand? Okay, is there demand in there? Right, and there is some here at 40. Okay, but there's more down here. Looks like, and they've been in the book here at 35. Okay, so I'm looking for see if we can get sellers to trade through this area and hit down into 35. Right, a really odd order flow in here. There must be let's turn on our stops and icebergs. We see quite a bit of buying coming in here, quite a bit on the way down. So it must be a lot of icebergs, and there are. You can see them in the here, let me take off CVD. Okay, so I'm iceberg buying all the way down in here, and you can see our icebergs going up here. Turn on the icebergs on chart as well. Okay, reason we don't see it on chart is I've filtered them, but we'll bring the filter down quite a bit. And let's see what we get. It's under 16, so hold on a minute. Let me try that again. Okay. That's not working quite right. Oh, it's the aggregate threshold. This is why. Jeez. Okay. There we go. Okay. So these are the icebergs that we saw here. And now we just saw, pretty big one up here as well. Or a few. 87, 38, and 20. Okay, into high liquidity here. All right, now I'm very curious after that drop and after we see quite a bit of buying in here. Okay, now do we get another move up above? Okay, or is this after hitting this liquidity here, which was absorbed or absorbed the aggressive buying in here? Do we see some exhaustion? And it's not too clear yet. Now it looks more like it's going to be a continuation pattern here. Okay, we have more buying, aggressive buying back up here now after absorption. Okay, so we're just that kept us out of going short here. All right, here we go. Let's see if we now. Actually, for this one, we can see some of the exhaustion here, and we do see some high liquidity here on the offer, and we see the reaction to it. But we're still in a range in here. Okay, so this is different behavior in here. Okay, so basically, I would look for those sellers to take it down, and I would look for a pullback, and I would want to see low volume on the buying on that pullback. Okay, and that kept us out of this here. Yeah, I mean, it looks more like a flag pattern in here, basically. Impulse move, bit of an impulse move here, but we see it very kind of choppy in here, but there's still more buyers in here. Okay, there's some exhaustion, and buyers come back in again. Okay, so they're still pushing higher here. Okay, we're back to point of control, or where it dropped from here. And let's keep an eye out here. Okay, this liquidity up here was pulled. Now, interesting question up here at point of control, okay, or most traded level in the profile for today. are we going to accept here and just kind of chop around for a bit, or are we going to see someone take it one direction or another here? Okay, still exploring higher. Okay, this liquidity again pulled here and here, right? So these guys here did not trade, right? So if there's more aggressive buyers, we look for the next level here of liquidity at 60. Okay, and then that gets back to Sam's comment about resistance or supply up at 60. Okay, now in terms of supply at 60, there's not a whole lot, but there's some. Okay, there looks like there's some more up here at 65. Here we go into 58, and that just transacted and still going a little bit higher here. So Sam, does that make sense? Like you know, I'm matching up your support and resistance with supply and demand. Okay, and it's basically with anything that you want to look for that. Okay, great. And again, like you know, boy, I've been wanting to put this course together for ages. And I want to take us back to that course just for a second, though, because it's this one here, this video, the third one, that I want to show you. And if we go through it in here, we cover like, okay, let's suppose you're a VWAP trader, trend line trader, a volume profile trader, chart patterns, or indicators. Look for your supply and demand to support it. Okay, so in this one here, we go through like a VWAP trader. He's looking for something in here in the order flow around VWAP to give him the edge. Okay, same thing with a volume profile trader, the same chart, but we look for not VWAP anymore. We look for volume profile. Okay, and you can look for, you can see we went through the POC here, and you see a low volume node up here though, and then look at the supply here, right? So this confirms it for you. You just look for that weakness on the sell side, or the strength on the sell side to drive it lower. Okay, same with chart patterns, like we covered the double top and with absorption and exhaustion. Here's a failed breakout on the trend line, and we've also got like a wedge in here, potentially a broken wedge, and also indicators, looking at cumulative volume delta. So your indicators as well, just match them up with supply and demand. Okay, in this case, supply. Right, so it's getting interesting here. So we just traded up into, and it is this 58 level is actually becoming kind of important now, because we see this liquidity in here, but they kind of pulled it, but then look what they came back in here, right? So now we're starting to see the sellers react to it. Right, so in fact, let's see if we can get maybe a pullback. We'll get lucky here. We already kind of missed the selling coming in. Okay, but we're look for a pullback, maybe down here, and a pullback. Oh, I don't know. Zoom in a little bit. Boy, we're not going to get it. This is one of the things about a pullback. Okay, we just get a big move like this, hit liquidity here, and in this volatile environment, what we've been seeing is selling, move it down to liquidity, buying, move it right back up to liquidity. Okay, we don't get these kind of pullbacks necessarily. We did earlier. We saw it right in here, right? But even in the S&P, it's crazy not to see these kinds of pullbacks. Instead, we just get these big moves and swings going back and forth. Okay. So is this a setup in here? No. Okay. There's, pretty nice move on the sell side down to the liquidity here, a little bit of chop, and then the buyers come back in, and there's pretty high volume on the buy side. So relative volume is kind of equal in here, right? And that'll keep us out of looking for a low volume pullback. Okay, buyers still taking it higher here. So yeah, still not seeing really anything at the moment. And let's read this activity in here, because we're kind of getting up to some levels in here. This 60 level, but the swing up here at I don't know, around 63 or so. Okay. Price came up to like 78.5 level here. So yeah, we're still seeing our buyers come in. Okay, they're still moving the market. And they just traded into that 60 high liquidity. Okay, now again, this transaction that took place in here, high liquidity on the offer, okay, our supply here, and the buyers took them on, and we haven't seen any sort of follow through quite yet. Okay, it just kind of dropped quickly here, a few points, but this level in here though, you can see buyers are coming right back to it. So what we're trying to determine in the order flow is who has more supply or demand, and right now it's more demand. Okay, clearly now we know. Okay, there's more buyers coming in. Okay, so they are going to take it up to the next level of high liquidity. Or we'd look for that to happen. And let me see here if we got any questions. any way to get backfill historical data on the trader map? No, there is not. It's a different thing. It's MBO data, and I think Alois is answering you. No, it's really heavy data, DNT, and it's filtered by the market by order data. It has to be, right. So that's it only works on futures that have market by order data. Okay, and so once you start your Trader Map Lite or Trader Map Pro, that's when you start create. You can see here. This is when I open my Bookmap just after 8 o'clock here. Okay. And then I start to collect that market by order data, and that filters out the heat map. Okay, look at these buyers still kind of relentless here, coming back in. Still hanging out up here in this area. Now, okay, some sellers just came in and dropped it, and now we're looking to see if, well, we have pretty nice exhaustion up here and some selling. Okay, but the buyers are curling back in, and it looks like we're going to go higher here. Okay, so I don't see anything good in here right now, but at the moment it looks like we're going to see some buyers trade into this high liquidity here around 62, maybe on up to 65. And they don't. And we're right back down to the swing here. Okay, and then let's take a look at the buying and selling here, relative buying and selling. So yeah, we see more buying in here, but we see these pockets of selling in here too, starting to add up. This is why I personally like to look at the volume bars as well as the dots. Okay, the volume bars will show me a little bit differently. Now they're both showing the delta. Okay, so the buy minus sell, but the dots are showing us exactly where those transactions are taking place. The nice thing about the bar, and that's incredibly important, and we've had this forever. The volume bars, though, they will show you kind of an overall, look in here, right? So it's all kind of concentrated at one area, whereas a big move will show the volume dots kind of spread out over a move, and you might not see the cluster as easily. Okay, so look at the sellers now, move it right back. So we've got really quite a big battle going on here between buyers and sellers. Okay, so let's see if we got a pullback there. Okay, but this is moved too far to be buying. I don't see a low volume pullback at the moment. Okay, Steven, so looks like you weren't stopped out on the pullback there. Good. Still in holding. Okay. It's a hard environment to hold in, Steven. I feel like I'm seeing action on both sides here, and it's pretty heavy. I mean, look at this move all the way back up. So I'm not really seeing too much of a directional move here, and not at the moment. Okay, there's some equal low here in the selling, but not so much selling here. So this is not giving us too much insight, right? We want to see heavy selling down here as well. Okay, a little bit better. Now we'll see. Now this might turn into another order flow pattern we're looking for. Okay, and this would be a kind of a wedge pattern in here, where we're getting like lower highs but equal lows here. When we want to see some selling in here, this is a good one here. This in a very small time frame, we would look for this break. Okay, and it's just doing it now. But a very low time frame. It's right in this little area in here, right? Lower highs, equal lows, and selling down here. So we would look for the kind of break into this liquidity here. Okay, this does not look good here, and we see these buyers come back in, but they couldn't make a higher high. Then this is starting to look a little bit better, but it's really this little area in here that gives us that insight. And again, let me show you that course. Okay, this is a pattern we'll see again and again, and these kinds of patterns in here can be really helpful. So this is actually one of my favorites. Is you start to look for like that selling at the lows, like in here. Okay, and high liquidity getting filled on the offer in here, and then this is a measured move here. But once you start to see that selling come in, we look for that move. So let me show you what I mean here on the candlestick chart. I think we're going to probably see it here. We'll just have to go down to like a 1 minute. No, we don't even see it on the 1 minute. Well, when we come across it, we'll cover it. Okay, but we want to see this kind of. Let me see if we can find it on a higher time frame in here. Maybe this up in here, you can see a bit of it. Let's bring this back to a 15 minute. Okay. Yeah, you'll just see these lower lows in here, and or equal lows, or maybe slightly lower lows, and then lower highs, and then selling, and then more selling, especially in this little area right in here. And then that's when we're looking for the break. Okay, so let me see if I can show that a little bit better in here. Candlestick chart. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of end of the day in here, but you can see the break and the gap. But anyway, we'll look for it when we see it. It's a good one. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Actually, let's see if the sellers can break it here. There's some demand in here flashing in the book at 48. Okay, sellers taking it on though. well, we got some buying after trading into that there. You guys can see. Okay, kind of an equal high, a little bit slightly higher. And sellers taking it right back down, trading back down to the low. We may break it here. It just does not look good enough. This is not enough selling, relative selling that we're looking for here to break it. Okay, liquidity's down here though at 45. That's a good sign. And look at the action here in the transactions in here. They were just not getting a whole lot. Can I change my time frame on? Okay, I got a few questions in here about Bookmap. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, guys, hit the like button if you can. Always appreciated. We're able to bring you this this education by your kind of participation in YouTube in here. So if you like it, please hit that thumbs up. Okay, well, I'm looking for this wedge to kind of play out, but I'm going to stay away from it in here. It just does not look high probability to me. I'm seeing some back and forth in here and kind of equal high. I want to see a lower high, and we're starting to see some selling coming in. Okay, but and we have some exhaustion in here, but it's really kind of back and forth in here. Now we may get that selling. Okay, if we do and we see that selling coming in here, then we'll look for that break. Okay, but you see how it just doesn't look right in here. This kind of buying in here, and then also the structure, the market structure, very, very important. And you can see that we are trading back up to the top of the ranges in here. We want to see lower highs in here. All right, so let me get back to some of these questions in here. Yeah, you can use the time slices tool like up here that Alois is talking about, but there is no time frame in Bookmap. Okay, so if I use the time slice tool, let me show you this tool. Right, so if I go to 30 minutes, for example, you can see that in between each dashed line here, vertical line, it's showing 5 minutes. Okay, but the entire range in here, viewable price action, is precisely 30 minutes, always 30 minutes floating by. Okay, so it's a sliding window of 30 minutes. Okay, now if you zoom in just using your center mouse wheel, or if you don't have one, you can hover over the timeline down here, left click, hold, and drag, and then you can zoom in and out very, very quickly. Okay, so that's a few different things to take a look at. And in terms of time frames, like I said, this is pure price action. Okay, we don't have a time frame in here. You can use the time slice tools, but there's another way to do it as well. We can show candlesticks on here, and we can divvy it up in here. Let me go to candlestick settings here by right-clicking on the candlestick, and then coming over here, and I'm going to disable the aggregation here, and that right now we're looking at 1 minute, but you can look at a 5 minute, for example, if you want. Okay, let's look at a 1 minute, and let's look at candlestick patterns with order flow. Okay, so we just had this move to the upside, and look at this wick up here. Okay, typically a wick, you're looking for exhaustion or an area where it just couldn't trade. Well, that's not the case here. It traded a lot up here. Okay, it just has kind of pulled back so far into the middle here, back into this zone. Okay, and did it trade into high liquidity? There's some in here, not a whole lot. There's more liquidity actually here at 49.5. Okay, and there's even more buying above 55.50 in here, right? So we're above the 55.50. Now we don't know, maybe sellers will just drop it through here really quickly, okay? And then we're going to get a really nice long squeeze, okay? Because all of these buyers up in here are going to have to cover. Okay, so we're going to look for that scenario. But here our candlestick is lying to us, okay, that this is not a breakout trade. I'm sorry, that this is a this is looking like a buy breakout here. Okay, but the wicks are lying to us. Okay, because there's a lot of transactions up in here, just right at that wick area. Okay, let's see here. If we get our sellers starting to come in, then and maybe some of this liquidity pulls in here, we can look for a drop. No, still seeing more buyers. Okay, so I think I answered your questions about zooming in and out. You can just use your center mouse wheel to zoom in and out very quickly, or hover over the timelines. Also the vertical timelines for zooming vertically. All right, let's see here. Was this the drop we're looking for? Not really. We want to see a lot more selling than that. Okay, I'm going to actually put a sell stop in here though. Now I might get squeezed, but I don't see a lot of buying in here. I see more selling coming in. We're at the bottom of this range in here, and I do see these buyers that potentially could get squeezed. Okay, so I'm looking for the break of this level in here, and I'm looking for a squeeze. Okay, so here again, like not many buyers here. Now we have a lower high, and I see more sellers in here. Now let's see if we can get the sellers come in. Okay, so we're filled. Now I'm selling at the bottom of the range in here. Okay, so now I'm looking for the sellers to, they've tried a few times or they've tested here. Now I'm looking for them to break it. Okay, now if they don't, then we'll just exit the trade. Okay, I have my stop up here, but I will exit before the stop is hit. Okay, unless there's just some big, huge move. That takes me out. All right, here we go. Now let's see if these sellers can now follow through. We're down at this swing here. Now we're looking for sellers to follow through. And now let's also take a look at our higher time frame in here. And where might we go? Okay, well, we can go down to the swings here around 40, right? We can even see, quite a bit lower. We can come back down into some of these lows in here very easily. But here's another swing here around 33 to 31. Okay, so here come our sellers, right? And I'm going to move my take profit down. And let's look at what did we just cover here? We said the swing here around 40. Okay, so that would be right around in here. Okay, and then the other one was at 31, right? 33 to 31 down here. Okay, so let's just get out maybe at 40, and our webinar will end here pretty quickly. Well, in got another 20 minutes or so. Okay. Okay, now let's see if we can get this continuation move. We see some nice cluster of selling in here, bringing the market lower, and then sellers just coming in again here. That is a low volume pullback. There we go. Okay, sellers, let's see if you can take it down. I'm going to move my take profit down a bit in front of this liquidity here around 34. And I'm going to move my stop loss down as well, just above break even, just above the swing here. Okay, we did trade into that high liquidity here at 42, it looks like. And the transaction took place. And we're still seeing sellers though. Okay, so more supply, more supply. Let's see, there's a question in here. Well, the pulling and stacking of liquidity you can see right here in Bookmap. I don't really quite understand what you're talking about, but I mean, this is not being pulled. Okay, I mean, this is staying in the book, and look at the big sell transactions taking place right into high liquidity, just like this. Okay, so now we're coming down to high liquidity here at 35, and I'm going to get in front of it, okay, by a couple ticks. Okay, now we see a nice little stop, nice, pretty big stop run, 455 with the MBO data here, and now we're retesting here again at the swing. Okay, and let's see if we can get a little bit more of a stop run here, back down lower. And no, we're starting to find some buyers here. Okay, still more selling, and just getting in. Okay, so we're just filled. That liquidity though is not filled at 35 yet, or 34 and a quarter. Okay, now it's filled. Okay. All right, guys, well, let's just do a little bit of a review here. Now we're trading into that 33-ish level. That's what we kind of looked at here on the candlestick chart, down in this area here. There's kind of a zone in here, right? Between like, it's actually, yeah, about 34 to 31 and a quarter or so. And we're trading into it, right? I do anticipate there to be a bounce down in here, right? This is where that demand came in here. And this was on Friday, right? Yeah, this was at the close here on Friday. Okay, so I'm looking for, some maybe sellers to cover or buyers to buy around in this area here. Stan, I'm not familiar with that add-on, so I don't know. I'll have to take a look and I'll get back to you on that. Yeah, I've never heard it. All right, guys. So anyway, let's take a look here. We've got candlesticks on here, and I don't mind candles. I don't have anything against them. I just think that they can kind of show you the wrong things, and not understanding where the volume is transacting. It's aggregated data within a period here. You're only getting 4 data points. So, however, we're all accustomed to reading candlesticks, so I like them. Nothing against them except for what I just had mentioned. I just think that there's a lack of transparency there. but you can still get a good feel for what's happening, certainly with the price action. You do not have access to the liquidity though, and you do not have access to volume transactions, right? So we're seeing quite a bit more here in Bookmap, but the beauty is we can look in between the two periods here, right, and see what actually happened. So here we go on the move back up, and look at this move up, right? This is a pretty big candle here on the, at least relative to the recent price action. But where's the volume transacting in here? I'm not seeing a whole lot of buyers in here. Now I'm starting to see them now back up above this little swing here, right? Okay, so now maybe the buyers are going to flip. We're going to see a lot of aggressive buyers come in and try to move and squeeze all of these sellers in here. Okay, so where might they go? Well, we look for maybe where it broke from here is a great target here at 47, maybe all the way back up to 50 here. Okay. But this in here does not look good at all to me. I mean, I see the price action move up, but this is where it started to look good to me, is in here. Now I know it's trading into high liquidity, but I see the transactions of the buyers here. If they can still move this higher, then we can get a squeeze. Okay, now all we did was trade up into this 45, 46 level here, and now we're selling off. Okay, quite a bit of supply coming in, aggressive supply, the red dots. Okay, let's see if we get a bit of a pullback here. Okay, this could be a low volume pullback. Look for up to about here. All right, so now let's see if we can get a low volume pullback out of that, and let's see if we can get more sellers coming in right around in here, around 38 or so. Well, we didn't. Okay, a little bit higher here. Okay, now it's more than a low volume pullback. It's not a low volume pullback any longer. Okay, we still might get sellers, but it's not that low volume pullback pattern that we're looking for. Are you guys following me on some of the course material here that I'm talking about? I mean, we tried to make it really simple here. Okay, from the it's here on the Learning Center, which here, let me show you how to get there again. So bookmap.com, click on education, and it's this new course here on supply and demand setups. So you go there, and then we covered like several in here already. One was the absorption and exhaustion here. Then we also well, we mentioned several different ways of trading with profile patterns, VWAP, etc., around those same levels. Then we talked a lot about the low volume pullback and looking for that. And then we talked about also this wedge pattern in here, which is a really good one. And it looks like it's starting to kind of potentially set up again in here. Okay, so I'm looking for more selling at this bottom edge in here. Okay, and these little pullbacks by the buyers in here is just not on a lot of volume, or it could be, but they just can't reach a higher high. They can't even make an equal high. There's just no demand to take it higher. Then we look for the sellers, and here they come. Now we look for the follow through on the sell side here. Let's see if we can get it here. Okay, looking for sellers now to hit into 32 down to 29. Okay. And again, these are classic patterns. They've been around for ages, but it's the order flow making up these patterns. Okay, this one's a little complex because this was the swing here at 34, right? We're looking at this pattern actually for this price action here, just around this kind of 36-ish area and the move down. Okay, now all it's done is come back down to the swing here, right? So if we get enough selling in here, and it's starting to show, let's see if we can get, all right, we'll go for it here. Okay, and we're looking for follow through again by the sell side to the downside here. And if we get buyers in here, we'll exit this. Starting to get buyers in here. And starting to make kind of an equal high. And buyers. Okay, so let's see if sellers, if they don't come in here right now, then we will exit it. Right, because that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for sellers at the bottom edge in here. Okay, so it's a battle here, and then we're at the European close here. Okay, so we're seeing the battle back and forth though, but we're seeing buyers down here. Okay, not what we're looking for. All right, so I'm going to exit it. Okay, flatten the position. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Right, it was started to show, but nope. Buyers on the low here, we're getting buyers again. No, that's not what we want. Excellent, Laura. Thank you. Yeah, you watched it. Yeah, these are really, they're designed to be really simple setups and to cover things that most of us already are familiar with. Okay, and it'll work on any time frame. Okay, but we want to understand the order flow in these areas in here. Okay, now we're getting our sellers, right? And here they come again. Okay, a little too late on that one. Okay, but see how this looks better now? Okay, and then we come back down again, and then I'm not seeing buyers. Now there's a big caveat in here though, real big one, is we're trading right into high liquidity in here. So this would be your target really. So you're not getting much out of that one. Okay, so again, like risk reward in here, you know, is this something that you want to trade, or do you want to look for a better one like up in here? This one was better, right? Because we're up at an area here and we have some room to run here because we have the high liquidity down below us here. Okay. So this is that kind of curling around in here, and it was a little tricky, but we saw it and you know, grabbed it here, and then moved our take profit down a few times in here. Okay, follow through now to the downside, even through all that high liquidity, down to 25 liquidity in here. Let's take a look at our higher time frame again. Okay, where are we? Okay, so nice down move here. Next level, well, we might be at kind of an interesting level here around this 23. It's going to be for you profile guys, this is probably going to be a low volume node in here, just because of all the transactions here. Let me mark this up. All the transactions up here. Ooh, hold on. Up here versus all the transactions down here, right? So that's where our low volume node is going to be. That's where we might have a reaction. Okay, so maybe some profit taking by sellers, maybe some buyers trying to scoop it up. Now, on the other hand, though, we have some nice momentum here to the downside. Okay, so we can also look at next levels somewhere around in here, between like 18 and 12 or so. Okay, high liquidity is down here at 20. All right, well, let's take a look at this in here again. Like pretty interesting stuff to see. Like the got our high liquidity in these levels, and that kind of kept us away from jumping into this move to the downside in this area in here. We did get in here, but then we got out quickly. And then we saw our sellers again, but trading into that high liquidity, I was not willing to do it at that level. But we can look at this relative sell volume, okay, relative supply in here versus the supply on the bid with the limit orders, the passive supply. I'm sorry, passive demand on the bid. Okay, so there's just more aggressive sellers. Okay, they trade into and through that high liquidity. So that's what we're seeing in here. Okay, if you want to take that risk, then that's the risk you have to take. There's a possible squeeze that you might get involved in if these buyers can take it through back up into 36 and above. Right, and that's the risk that you take. And it's up to you. All right. Any other questions? No? All right, guys. Well, I hope that you find some of this helpful in here, putting together very, very simple patterns that we've been wanting to put together into a course for you guys for quite a while on supply and demand, and putting those patterns to work for us, okay, by understanding the order flow. I'm going to take the candlesticks off. We can go over candlestick charts maybe tomorrow if you like, and as well as some of those patterns. See if there's any questions over here. In Discord. No. Hey guys, still going lower. One of the things that we started this webinar off talking about was looking for something that's moving the market, right? Some sort of activity or action. And Alois came across a Truth Social, it looks like, a tweet regarding Canada in here. Markets, have something to move on, and we can start to see the reaction in here. Okay, now what we're doing, now we know what's moving the markets. Okay, that's really important. Okay, we want to have that. And Bookmap Academy, guys, we talked about this last week. The next thing that we're looking for is a key level. Okay, and that's we kind of look at our technical levels in the order flow, where price might have dropped from, or on pullbacks into maybe a consolidation, and then we're looking for reactions at these key levels. Okay, we're looking for liquidity to fill at those key levels. We're looking for a potential reversal maybe, or continuation at these levels as well. And then we're looking at the order flow for the setup. Okay, so we saw a couple of good ones and took advantage of that. Okay, we're still going lower here. Okay, looks like maybe 5,500 is coming into view now. We have very high liquidity down there. Right now, we're going to get pullbacks all the way along, okay, and all sorts of other price movement. It's not going to go straight down there. I mean, it could, but most likely it will not. Okay, just trading into high liquidity here at 15. They were through a lot of those levels that we just spoke of. Okay, this 23 level and low volume pullback, or I'm sorry, low volume node. Okay, now we're getting down into this level here around, kind of mark this up between 18 and, I said 13. It looks like it's more like 11. And we're coming into that zone in here. Okay, pretty good momentum though. European close, but we're still seeing this momentum here to the downside so far. All right, guys. Well, that's everything I've got for you today. Thanks for coming, everybody. Yeah, I hope you have a good day trading out there. Be careful. Keep your eyes on the tweets and the news, etc. Yeah, Jose, if around 11:02, maybe you can go back and take a look at the recording, maybe they can get an answer there about what had happened. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, same time at 10 a.m. East Coast time, and we'll do it again. Okay. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.